Right, and here we go. We are ready to leave. This is my new setup. We had a thunderstorm last night and that house on the end caught fire. So that's not good.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
What the fuck? Right. I'm sweating my tits off already. I think I'm going to have to rearrange this.
So it's at this point that Tom has taken some of my luggage from the back of his bike because he had loads of room, and I am now wearing my backpack. We've made our way to Le Chateau. It was really busy, it was seriously hot, it was like 32 degrees. We were not enjoying sitting in this traffic in this heat. Tom was not happy about Rosie in her blue BMW cutting lanes. And here we are getting on the shuttle ready to go. So we are doing a Normandy tour over a period of 5 days. So a day to get there, 3 days of looking around, touring, and a day to come back. Tom didn't have any fuel when we left, and we hadn't stopped to get any fuel on the way up. So we got through to France, and first job in hand was to get some fuel. But we had been warned that the local fuel station in France was not open. We went there anyway. And of course we found out it's not open.
That's a okay.
We then started to venture out on the back roads. The route that we were taking over to Ouistreham? I'm not sure on the pronunciation. Either way, it was 6 hours of lovely twisty back roads, all country roads. We could have taken the motorways, but that would have been very boring and bad for the tyres. This was quite brutal in this heat though. One thing I noticed is that in the UK we nod our heads, but over in France they put 2 fingers out. I think I kind of preferred it.
I don't like it in front.
I jumped out in front of Tom and realised that actually I don't like it. Although I've got a map in front of me, it's not actually giving me directions, I was just using it for the speeds. You really have to be on these roads to appreciate them. My camera does not do it justice at all. They were so good. The views and just generally riding them. The road surface is just so much better than what we have here. You might hear me talking, and that's me and Tom talking on the intercoms. He was telling me how his wife doesn't like this bridge because it's too high. Turns out that's not true, different bridge. It had a fantastic view from it. As we got closer to our destination, we started coming through these lovely villages. I tell you what, it's really hard to do 30 kilometers an hour where you need to in some of these villages and little towns. A lot of it is 50, but 30 it's so hard to do. It's like a first gear only job. But you can't help but look around and be distracted, which means you end up speeding. this is Pegasus Bridge. We'll be coming back here the next day, and I'll go into more detail about Pegasus Bridge, as well as the house on the left, which does have quite a lot of importance to this bridge and the story of that house. I lost Tom at this red light, which, yeah, I ended up having to pull over and look up where it is I needed to go. But, funny enough, if you fancy doing this route, there's actually a port right here. Tom doesn't like the sea, and we're on a motorbike trip, so we chose to, you know, do a long-ass ride instead of getting right to this point, because the hotel is just to the side of this port. It had been a long day on the bike. I think in all we'd spent like 8 or 9 hours on the bikes with very little in the way of stops in sort of 34-degree heat.
Yeah?
We'll have to move in a minute. I think the parking is down there.
Oh, okay.
This is a reserved spot. I don't know what for. I thought we'd check in and just...
Oh.
It's the only picture I've got, but it was a much deserved beer. It took us 30 minutes and there was a thunderstorm. Then we went to bed. Not together. The following morning, we stayed pretty local and headed over to the bunker, which was about a 15-minute walk. Originally built in 1942 and weighing 5,000 tonne, on the morning of D-Day, the Allied forces landed on Sword Beach. The guns controlled by the bunker were quickly silenced. However, the heavily fortified tower itself remained a rather significant obstacle. French and British commandos attempted to breach the structure, but repelled by heavy machine guns and stick grenades thrown from the roof. Unable to capture it immediately, 3 days later, Lieutenant Bob Orwell of the British Royal Engineers led a small team in place and placed explosives against its heavily armoured steel doors, which you'll see later, and made entry that way. Some of these guys just really creep me out. Anyway, here's a part of the lookout post. Tom looking through this periscope. Really interesting how they engineered that.
Focus.
Surprised it moved. Unlike in the UK, where this would definitely be prohibited, you are able to use this ladder and go up to the very top and look out. You can see over Sword Beach and over the town. We then came back down and started venturing our way back towards the big metal doors I told you about earlier, where the hinges are probably over an inch thick, and you'll be able to see where they blew the door off and the state of it at the bottom. It's seriously impressive, the damage they've had to do to get in there.
He's still got ringing in his ears.
We then jumped on the bikes and headed to our next destination, where we would look at this house go in and have a little bit of lunch, and then look at the bridge. This house has some real history behind it. It was liberated on D-Day at the same time as the bridge, or minutes after, and the lady that owns this house was there as a child when it was liberated, so she has some real stories to tell. You can't record inside, but yeah, it's got some serious history to it, and I bet it could tell some stories. You can then see the Pegasus Bridge. It's featured in films and stuff like that. Just across the road is the museum, so we popped in there to look at the real bridge, which we saw, and looked at the memorial around there, which was quite touching. Inside the museum, it's a lot of what you'd expect: guns, uniforms, that kind of stuff. We then walked around, and you can have a look at a glider example, so you can see what it's like inside one of them. And then there's also a fuselage from an original one, back over where the other bridge is that we came across. Just on the other side of it, there's a little walkway, and you can it's got 3 crash sites from different gliders. Now, I saw this, and I'm not sure if it's a rat or some other kind of creature.
A hamster rat.
Whatever it is, I didn't like it. We moved on from here and went across from the other house to another cafe, where we just had a drink and chilled and planned where we were going next.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. We then took some beautiful pictures. Back on the bikes, Tom decides to play with his pole in public. Naughty, naughty. And then as we go to leave, the bridge has actually gone up. It's actually quite impressive. There we go. You can see it in the foreground there.
It's cool, isn't it?
So from here we took maybe like a 15-20 minute ride over to
Doesn't it say bicycle path?
Merville batterie, which is a decommissioned coastal fortification, which was built as part of Germany's Atlantic Wall to defend defend Europe from the Allied invasion. So we're going to have a little look at that. So we got parked up and headed in. I think it was about another €10, maybe a euro less each. If you keep the receipt from one museum and you go to another, they normally give you like a euro or €2 discount. You're going to see a lot of like short clips because this is a motorbike channel, not a history channel. So I'm going to keep it relatively short. I just want you to see what we did, and if you fancied it, you can do it. So you can see some encasements here, and then we go into, there's a plane on site. We had a little look in there. And then in the encasement that we're standing on here, there's like a little light show, which you'll see in a moment. Quick, Tom, save them. So although I've only shown you a very short clip, it probably took us over 2 hours to walk around, looking at all the exhibits. But now it's the end of the day. It's probably like 6 p.m. No, it was later than that. It must have been 7:30. We ventured back, got ourselves a beer, and chilled out. So there's going to be maybe another episode, maybe 2 more episodes. Depends how long it takes to edit and how much I can cram into it in a watchable period. But if you like what you saw, please follow, subscribe. If you have any questions about the trip or any experiences from places you've been or any recommendations, please put them in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.